Hello and welcome to Northeast Pennsylvania, the home of Cheetah Chassis. Cheetah Chassis has been manufacturing container chassis right here in the USA for some of the largest shipping companies in the world. Come with me as we take a tour of our Cheetah Chassis 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis. Let's start at our front bolster. Our front bolster is a container aligning front bolster. It has a 45-degree angle on the back side to help facilitate the landing of containers. Our bolster is made out of high-grade, 50,000-pound, certified U.S. milled steel. It is fabricated right here in Berwick, Pennsylvania. The end caps are made of cast and are designed to keep you from destroying any containers or any other types of tires or whatever is in your yard. As you can see, they are molded and rounded and protects the corner lights for less damage. Our center mounted air and electric, which is our standard. We do have an option to make a roadside air and electric. The advantage of this setup right here is that you can actually undo the glad hand, the connector, and pull it forward so that you can fix the hose. Also, with the 7-way receptacle, it can be removed and pulled forward so that you can replace that receptacle while a container is on the chassis. If you notice, our bolster is designed so that we have vertical stiffeners on the sides. Therefore, if you need to attach a truck at an odd angle, it will not damage your front bolster. On the 2040 City chassis, we do have 1.5-inch slide pins in the front to hold the 40-foot container to the front of the chassis. At this time, you can see it is retracted. If you flip the lock, lift up the handle and push forward, push it down, it is now locked. And this makes this, with the hole, an AAR certified slide pin. So this can be used on the railroad. Our kingpin assembly uses a cruciform kingpin. If you also notice, there's a 16-inch channel rearward of the kingpin and forward of the kingpin in order to stabilize the kingpin and the pickup plate. Our pickup plate extends 18 inches to the rear of the kingpin. Therefore, the fifth wheel is always fully engaged on the fifth wheel plate. You may also notice that we do have 2-inch round drain holes located in the center and in the front of the kingpin to facilitate draining. You can also notice the loops for the air and electrical that allow you to pull the glad hands and the receptacle through the front bolster while a container is mounted on the chassis. On our 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis, we do have an intermediate front bolster. This bolster is for when you have it in the 20-foot position, carries a 20-foot container. As you can see, these twist locks disappear when you have a 40-foot gooseneck or tunnel type container on this chassis. These raise up and twist in order to lock in a 20-foot container when you have the 20-foot container on the chassis. On our 2040 City chassis, we do use a joist landing gear. There are different options available, different sand shoes available, but our standard is the joist 50,000-pound lift, 160,000-pound static load landing gear leg. You'll also notice that our landing gear box can be used with any type of landing gear. It is a SAE recommended fit, so therefore it can be used with any brand landing gear. Also, this landing gear has skirts, front and rear. This helps to lessen the damage when you hit a speed bump with the landing gear legs down too low, and it will save the upper legs from damage. Our 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis has a gross vehicle weight rating in the 40-foot position of 75,000 pounds. That means that the chassis, the container, and the payload can weigh 75,000 pounds. This does not include your tractor. In the 20-foot position, when this chassis is closed, it will carry a gross vehicle weight rating of 57,600 pounds. That is the container, the payload, and the Cheetah chassis. On our 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis, you'll see that we incorporate an angle to go from cross member to cross member. This we call lateral bracing. This lateral bracing is to keep the chassis from bowing when going around turns and to stabilize the entire unit. As you can see, we have a very unique way of attaching our angles. We have a very specialized gusset and weld pattern in order to minimize stress concentrations on our welds and cross members. On our 2040 City chassis tandem axle, you'll see that we use a cable bull ring arrangement for the airlines. As this chassis has to extend by 10 feet, this is the best way to extend and keep the hoses from tangling, especially in the icy climates where ice hangs on hoses. Our 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis uses a standard 30 cubic inch air chamber, which is really very standard in our industry and can be purchased almost at any auto parts store. We use this to extend the lock pins and retract them during closing or opening the chassis. Our 2040 City chassis tandem axle employs a hutch suspension. We can also use as an option an air ride suspension or any other type of suspension if you prefer. This particular chassis has a 49-inch axle spacing. It is also 49 inches to the center spring hanger from the rear of the chassis. We are trying to move the axles as far back as possible in order to increase the load on the kingpin. Although our standard 2040 City uses a 5-inch round axle, we can use a 5 3/4 or 6-inch round in order to lighten the weight. It also comes with a TN spindle, and we can use a parallel spindle. It comes with Cooper Roadmaster 11R 22.5 tires and 8 1/4 by 22.5 rims. We can use synthetic grease, which is our standard, or you can get oil bath if you would like, or grease. There's many options available. Same thing with the wheels. There's many options with wheels. We can do aluminum 2 on the outside. We can do all aluminum. We can do super singles on this particular trailer. If you do use the super singles, however, you do have to go with a parallel spindled axle. Our standard 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis uses a drop-in style twist lock. As you can see, when the container is mounted on, you simply turn the handle and flip down the lock. This makes it AAR certified. We also can offer our cantilever style twist locks, which are also AAR certified. All different brands of twist locks are available here at Cheetah. On the 2040 City Tandem Axle chassis, we do offer a Cheetah designed and manufactured high tensile steel rear bolster. These bolsters are manufactured here in Berwick, Pennsylvania, out of American certified high tensile steel. As you can see, we use the truck light lights. They are available in both grommet mount or flange mounted lights, and also stainless steel trim rings are available as an option. As you can see, we use an eyebrow completely around the lights in order to keep the lights from being damaged when you're backing up to the dock. The 2 main struts at the rear are moved 2 inches rearward of the rear of the chassis. These are used as dock bumpers when backing up to the dock. Also, we have a 4x4 steel bumper, which can be used as a dock lock holder when you back up to the dock. So this trailer is dock lock ready. Our mud flaps are attached with 5/16 bolts and use a backing plate on the back side. Therefore, you really don't have to worry about ripping off any mud flaps when using a Cheetah chassis.